Muizenberg had a very vibrant Jewish community, and it was not for, we were known as Duisenberg at one stage. The shul was located near a flight of steps that led to Boys Drive, and we had Rabbi Weinberg. I'm talking about the years, probably from about mid-1940s to probably late 1950s. Rabbi Weinberg, who came from London, came from England, and he was the rabbi. At the same time, we had a chazan, Kent Goldwasser, with a beautiful voice, and we had the Reverend as well. That was Reverend Frank. And they were all three officials at the same time, which shows how big the community was and how strong the community was. During those years, we sometimes had that over Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, Yamim Noraim, there were not enough seats in the shul, and we used to have an overflow minyan at the Herzl Hall. I'm talking about the first Herzl Hall, before this one was built. Behind that Herzl Hall, there was the Gitlin Library, where we young people would meet on a Friday night or a Sunday night. And attached to the old Herzl Hall was the Cheder. 3 classrooms, and we youngsters, boys and girls, would go every day after school, and we would play in the huge, grass, like the lawns adjoining the Herzl Hall. Most of the kids left when they turned 13. They left after they'd had the bar mitzvah, but a few of us did stay, and a few of us did do our matric for Hebrew. It was Mr. Levitt, he was the principal and the main teacher, and Mr. Smith, he was in the middle room. Mr. Levitt was at the end room. And then after they left was Mr. and Mrs. Smolinski, who took over. I personally did my Hebrew for matric with Mr. Smolinski. The shul itself, we had a shamus. Mr. Brooks was the shamus for decades, and over the Pesach time, you could see dozens and dozens of kids standing outside the shul, not inside the shul, standing outside the shul, playing odds and evens with nuts. What mainly are little almonds, nuts. You just had to do it. I haven't seen it anywhere else, actually. Opposite the shul was the park, and sometimes we walked in the park during shul. I'm talking about the times when one was not such a keen davner, of course. And sometimes we would walk up the steps and pick the loquats on the way to Boys Drive. It was a very strong community. Most people knew each other. And besides the actual shul, but before that, I'll just say that when it used to come to Sukkot, and those of us who did go to shul, and I was one of them, we could hardly wait for the refreshments in the sukkah. We weren't allowed in until after shul was finished, and we had to queue up. But I can still taste the kefir and herring that we used to get there. It was amazing, amazing. Besides the shul itself, we had a variety of organizations. My mother, Mrs. Pese Kagan, was the chairperson of the Women's Mizrahi organization and was very active. We had, there was a wheat sow, and there's a picture of that wheat sow in the Muizenberg Museum, and my mother's actually in the picture, I told you. And JNF was a big thing. She used to undertake to collect the boxes, the money in the JNF boxes, and I personally used to go knocking on the doors and emptying the boxes of the blue boxes. I was there till 1957, till June 1957 when I left to go to Johannesburg, and I was married in December 57, and then would only go back on the odd occasion.
You were married in Muizenberg, in the shore?
I was married in the Muizenberg shore, yes.
And you came, you said, at the age of 1, is that right?
I came at the age of 1. I think at that point, I mean, my father was a watchmaker. He had a jewellery shop in Salari Road, Albert Road. It was lower Albert Road in Salt River. And a lot of Jews settled in the Salt River, Woodstock area. And I think a decision, I imagine that a decision had to be made as to where to move, because you couldn't stay there forever. You know, that was, the Grinner lived there, you know. And that they decided to go to Muizenberg, whereas most people decided to go to Sea Point. Friedhoek first, and Sea Point after. But my family decided to go to Muizenberg. And what was interesting as well was that when the season started, the season was usually from about the second week in December till about the third week in January, although sometimes other people used to come in February as well. There were a number of kosher hotels, the Sharon Hotel, the Esplanade Hotel, the Imperial Hotel. I remember when the Imperial Hotel was being built, actually. And it wasn't only young people who came. Young people came for sure, or from all corners of South Africa. They came to meet other young people and have a good time on the beach and swim in the sea. But we must also remember that the older generation came as well, mainly from Johannesburg. And I know from my parents' point of view that it was such a joy to meet Landslight, who came once a year from Johannesburg to Muizenberg, and people used to walk around on the promenade, and they would see people that they knew from Daheim. And it was a real joy. I know my parents often entertained Landslight from Johannesburg. My mother was from Plunyan, my father was from Kupasik, and both in Lithuania. And there were many, many people from Plunyan in South Africa. Many, many, many. And from Kupasik too. And so it was a gathering of Jews from other parts of South Africa, and it was fantastic, really fantastic. I mean, the young people came for sure. I met my husband there. You know, he was from Johannesburg, I was from Muizenberg. We met there like many other couples. But let us not forget the older people who had such joy from meeting their Landslight. That's it.
And did you, just one other thing, when you moved to Johannesburg, did you go back quite often to Muizenberg?
Yes, we went, not necessarily, we went back.
Did you miss it? Did you miss the life there?
I don't know that I missed the life there, because I started, as we were a newly married couple, and I had different aspirations, and we had different dreams of what we wanted in our lives. And but we did go back, yes, on the odd occasion. Yes.
And do you know of any people that still live there?
Yes, I do. I think that the shul today is run by Renee Katz and Cecile Shirkin. Cecile's family owned the Balmoral Hotel, and I think she still runs it, and lives around the corner. Renee Katz, the Katz's had a bottle store in Muizenberg, in the main road. I think they are the stalwarts.
Yes.
I think Salome Yankelowitz, who's my contemporary, also lives there, but I don't know her surname.